All right, let's go ahead and get started laying down on your mat. So we're going to do a 45-minute restorative flow. It's pretty nuts right now, being right before the holidays. There's just a million things to do and not enough time to do it. So as you go through this flow, we're going to do it super slow, and sometimes it can just even be the hardest thing just to slow down. So recognize when you start to entertain ideas of to-do lists, when you start to think about what you have to do once you get off your mat or even tomorrow. Every time that comes into your mind, I want you to take a big inhale and then exhale it out with a sigh to let it go. Laying down here on our backs, bring the heels to touch and let the feet flop open. Your hands can either rest at your side as we start to solely focus on your breath. We're first starting with the length of our breath. So as you inhale, count how long it takes you for a full inhale. And then as you exhale, try to match that length. Maybe the length of your inhales is now at 4 seconds. Maybe you've even lengthened it to 6, 8, or 10. If you want to continue to focus on the length, feel free to do so. If you also want to focus on the placement of your breath, go ahead and plant one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. As you inhale, your belly will rise. And exhale, belly will fall. Start to feel your heartbeat in your left palm. Grounding into your space. Take notice if your shoulders have crept up to your ears. Gently roll them down and away from the ears, lengthening in the neck. Two more rounds on your own. On your next inhale, bend your right knee and squeeze the right knee into your chest, interlacing your fingers at your shins or just under the knee. You can move the thigh back and forth. Wind removing pose, not exactly the sexiest name, but as you can see, we're massaging our organs here. Release the right leg, extending it out to the top of your space, and then bend the left knee. Interlace the fingers at the shin or just below the knee. And then massage the thigh into the tummy area. Continuing to breathe through. On your next inhale, bring the right knee in. So squeezing your knees into your chest, just rock back and forth, giving yourself a massage in the low back. You can draw circles with your knees, maybe going clockwise for a couple rounds, and then going counterclockwise to even it out. Perhaps as you extend the knees out, you'll feel that nice release in the sacrum. That's just the back of your pelvis, just below the low back. We've been sitting a lot all day, so this is going to be a really good release for you. Switch directions if you haven't already. And then once you feel that you're evened out, come back to squeezing the knees into your chest. Scoop your hands just underneath the knees. Flex your feet, and then start to gently roll back and forth. Gently massaging the low back and upper back. Using your breath to release tension along the way. Use your next couple rounds to find yourself in a seated position. Legs are crossed in front of you. Hands come to your knees. Shift your shoulders back slightly so that your knees stack over your hip. Your shoulders stack over your hips. Traditional cow-cat is in tabletop position, but I want to bring a couple cow-cats here in this seated pose. As you inhale, lift through the chest, arching in the back. Exhale, press through the back space, creating a C curve in your back. Inhale, lift through the chest. And exhale, round in the back body. 3 more rounds on your own. Again, matching breath to movement. I encourage you to flex your feet here to keep the low body engaged, really anchoring down through your root. After your last round, come back to seated position. Taking a moment just to feel that sensation you've created throughout the body with your breath and movement. On an inhale, arms reach out and up. And then as you exhale, plant the right hand down next to your right hip. Inhale, reach through the left arm, left hand, straightening the left arm. And then as you exhale, bend the right elbow, side bend over to your right side. Actively press down through the left hip, breathing along the left side body. Inhale, reach through the left fingertips. And exhale, see if you can get a little bit deeper. Inhale, both hands come up to the sky. And switching out the hands, exhale, left hand comes down to the outside of your left hip. As you inhale, lengthen through your right arm. And as you exhale, bend the left elbow, side bend over to your left side. This time, your right hip is naturally going to want to try to pop up. So actively press down through the right hip. Breathing along the right side body. Inhale, both hands come up to the sky. As you exhale, interlace the fingers, pressing the palms upward. I'm feeling it in my shoulders today. So as you inhale, press the palms up, and then exhale, bring the arms down so that they're parallel to your mat. Create another C curve shape with your back body. I'll go to the side so you can see. Start to breathe into that space between the shoulder blades. And then gently start to rock back and forth, using your breath to get deeper and underneath those shoulder blades. Inhale, palms come on up. And as you exhale, hands come down to your side. We've released a lot in the low back, through the mid back, into the upper back. So let's go ahead and top it off by stretching out your neck. Being really gentle here. It's so easy just to feel like you want to crack it. Not healthy. So what we'll do is lift the right arm up, bend the right elbow, and gently place the right hand on top of the left ear. If this is your depth, this is good. Just go ahead and close your eyes and breathe along the left side of your neck. If you're looking for a little bit deeper, what you can do is bring your hand out to the left side, probably about a foot or so away from the left hip. Tend up the fingertips, and then just notice that breath moving into the left shoulder, maybe even into the left bicep. Think about your breath as a tool, not a task. You're using it not only to get deeper into poses, but to feel more in these poses. Inhale, both hands come up to the sky. And then as you exhale, bend the left elbow, planting the left palm on the right ear. You can walk your right hand out, tenting up your fingertips if you did so on the other side. And then breathe along the right side of your neck. Inhale, both hands come up to the sky. Interlace your fingers at the nape of the neck, hugging the elbows in, tuck your chin, and just breathe along the back of your neck. Use your inhales to identify any tension here. And use your exhales to melt that tension away. Open up the elbows and then squeeze them on in. Some of these micro movements just help you get a little bit deeper or spread the love around the shoulder space. And then gently settle in. On your next exhale, release your hands and then start to walk your hands in front of you. I shared earlier that a lot of the tension that you hold from your gaze is going to be found in your neck. But something many don't often know is that it can also be held and stored in your hips. So as you're folding forward, flex your feet and be really gentle with yourself. Maybe lowering an inch at a time. My fingers are still tented, and then gently letting your palms, wrists, and forearms come to the ground. As you tuck your chin here. Inhale, gently peel on up. We want to even this out as well, so go ahead and switch out the legs. Whichever shin was forward, go ahead and tuck it under. Inhale for length, and then exhale, crawl your hands forward. You'll notice a difference between both sides. That's totally normal. No two sides are equal when it comes to anatomy. But try to find a similar routine that you did with the last, maybe again starting with the fingertips tented. Gently starting to walk it out an inch at a time. And then letting the palms, wrists, and forearms melt into your mat, tucking your chin slightly. Feet are still flexed. Breath is still deep. As you inhale, start to walk your hands back towards your hips. Taking a breath here, maybe just one round of cow-cat in this seated position. Again, relish in that sensation you've created so far. And then when you're ready, go ahead and walk your hands in front of you, finding tabletop position. Wrists underneath your shoulders, hips stack over your knees. I got a nice little pops out of just swaying my hips side to side. As you inhale, squeeze the right oblique, drawing the right shoulder close to your right hip. Exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze the left shoulder towards the left hip, squeezing on that oblique. Exhale, release. Go ahead and do one more round on both sides with your own time. Exaggerating any movement that you need. And then once you've done the both sides, go ahead and find your tabletop position. We'll do 3 rounds of cow-cat here. Again, matching your own breath to movement. Inhales will bring us into cow pose, flipping the tailbone up, dropping the belly, lifting through the chest. And exhales will move us into cat pose, pressing down to the palms, rounding in the back body, and tucking your chin. 2 more rounds on your own. Go ahead and center out your right knee. Extend your left leg so that the ball of your left foot is pressed into the mat. Use the strength in your upper body to press down into the palms, pressing the heel away from you, getting a nice little calf stretch here. One more breath together. As you exhale, drop the left knee down, centering it into your space. Step the right foot back, pressing the ball of the right foot into your mat. Press the right heel away and send your breath into the belly of the calf muscle here. Your next exhale brings both feet down. Go ahead and widen out your knees. You can either do hip width distance or mat width distance. Bring the toes to touch together as your hips come back to your heels. Find child's pose, arms extended to the front of your space. Gently let your forearms, elbows, and maybe even biceps melt into the mat. Chest falls, forehead falls down, melting into your space as you breathe. On your next inhale, come back to tabletop position. And as you exhale, go ahead and release the chest down to the mat so that you're lying on your stomach. Hands are planted underneath the shoulders. Untuck your toes, pressing the tops of the feet into your mat. You'll start to feel that connection with the front of the pelvis as well. So actively press down into the tops of the feet. Maybe you'll even be able to lift the quads up slightly. Hands are still planted underneath your shoulders as we prepare for our first cobra. Spine strengthening and lengthening. Inhale, gently start to lift the chest off the ground. Take note of how much weight you have in your hands. Your goal is to have little or no weight here. Really engaging in the back body. On your next exhale, go ahead and release down. Hands still planted underneath your shoulders. Left cheek rests onto your mat. Let everything go in the body. Letting your feet flop open here. Coming back to your breath. Inhale, lift your ear off your mat. Gaze comes to the center of your space. Our second round of cobra. Inhale, lift up through the chest. Exhale, roll the shoulders back. I read that this is a really good pose for posture, really being mindful and engaging all parts of the back, but also rolling the shoulders away from the ears because we tend to hunch over. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down to the chest. This time, turning to rest on your right ear. Right cheek comes to the mat. On your next inhale, gaze comes to the center of your space. Go ahead and plant your hands out just a little bit farther than the width of the mat. Now, instead of having your palms planted, I want you to tent up your fingertips. So you're pressing down through the fingertips and the palms are lifted. As you inhale, press into the fingertips, lifting the chest off the ground. Exhale, lower. 2 more just like that. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. Third one, inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. On our next round, we'll do some shoulder dips. So as you inhale, rise. Exhale, go ahead and dip the left shoulder down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, dip the right shoulder down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, dip left. Inhale, rise. Exhale, dip right. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, lower your chest down to the ground. Resting on your left cheek and left ear. Let your hands rest at your side, palms facing up. On an inhale, bring your gaze to the top of your mat. Reset your feet, pressing down into the tops of the feet. As you exhale, interlace the fingers at low back. Squeezing the palms together. Inhale, start to peel the chest off of your mat, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhale together. Exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze it on up, lifting through the chest. And then exhale, fully release. Release the hand bind. Tops of the hand fall to the mat, and then turn so that you're resting on your right cheek and right ear. Inhale, gaze comes to the center of your space. As you exhale, bend your knees, bringing your heels close to your bum. Go ahead and reach the palms back, wrapping your hands around the outside of your ankles. Flex your feet. As you inhale, kick the feet back, lifting the chest off the ground. Here in our Dhanurasana, bow pose. Use your breath. Maybe you can start to rock even higher so that your weight is kind of in the tummy space, maybe even the front of the pelvis. Really think about using the strength in your legs to peel your chest up and off the mat. Gently exhale, letting the heels come back to your glutes, and then releasing the hands down, feet down. Go ahead and rest the left ear and left cheek down to the ground. On your next inhale, gaze comes to the top of your space. Palms come to your mat. Go ahead and tuck your toes, making your way back through tabletop position. And then gently making your way to high plank pose. We won't be here for long. Coming back to your focus of your Hasta Bandha, spread your fingers wide, pressing down to the tops, the fingertips, the knuckles, and the heel of your hand. Inhale, shift the shoulders forward,
And as you exhale, press your hips up and back for down dog. We'll do 2 more of those movements before settling into down dog. These are optional, so if down dog is where you want to be, go ahead and hang out. I did recently read that this is another great one for posture, those transitions from down dog to plank. So if you've been sitting at your desk or in a chair all day, I invite you to join us for 2 rounds. Inhale, shift the shoulders forward.
Exhale, press the hips back.
Inhale, shift the shoulders forward.
Exhale, press the hips back.
Now settling into our down dog. Go ahead and pedal out the feet. Sway your hips side to side. Go ahead and shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. Tuning into that tension you're holding in your neck and shoulder space, even if you're doing your best to let it go. Inhale together. Side out exhale. Your next inhale brings the gaze to the top of your space. And as you exhale, take the tiniest of steps, using this as a stretch, bringing your feet toward the top of your mat. Our first forward fold of the day. Go ahead and just relish in this inversion. Your hands can rest at the side, or if you'd like, you can reach for opposite elbows, letting your head and neck dangle between your biceps. If you're still feeling some tension there in the upper back, you can join me in a deeper variation. Interlace the fingers at the nape of the neck, squeezing the elbows in towards one another. Go ahead and tuck your chin and get into a deeper forward fold. If those watching this are concerned about my dog, rest assured I just took him out to the bathroom, but he does hear his girlfriend next door, and that's why he's crying. He will live. Release the hands down to the ground. Giving some love to our IT band, go ahead and plant your right hand underneath the chest, just in front of your feet. Feet are hips width distance, so if you need to widen your stance, go ahead and do so. Bend your right knee, and as you inhale, bring the left hand up to the sky. Wonderful IT band stretch. So send your breath along the left outer hip, traveling downward, the outside of the left knee. Inhale, reach through the left fingertips. And then as you exhale, switch out the hands, left hand planted at center. Bend the left knee. Inhale, right hand reaches up. Sending your breath along the outside of your right leg. This IT band is often aggravated by lots of running, walking, and cycling, but also from sitting. So even if you can bring this into your routine a couple times a day, I guarantee you'll feel a release. Inhale, reach through the right hand, and as you exhale, hands come down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. We'll stay here because we've had our head underneath our heart for a while. So before we get ourselves all dizzy, let's go ahead and stay here in this halfway lift pose, adding on and setting intention here. So palms are at your shins.
Engaging your pada bandha, your foot bind, you can spread the toes wide and then press down through all four corners of your feet. When you set that intention, you're automatically going to feel the musculature in your legs turn on. So you might feel something in the hamstrings, in the calves, maybe even the glutes. If you'd like, you can bring your hands to your hip crease and gently press away, starting to lengthen from the hips through the torso. Tuck your chin gently so you have a straight line of energy from the hips all the way to the crown of the head. And then you can replace the hands back so that the palms are on the shins. Inhale here. Exhale, fold forward. On your next inhale, come to stand. Arms reach out and up. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, cactus pose. Inhale, arms reach up. And as you exhale, open arm twist to the right. So swim the right arm down and back. Palms are faced towards the right, thumbs are pointed up. Your right hip is going to want to open, but that actually defeats the purpose of the pose. So press the right hip back as you pull press the right hip forward as you pull the left hip back. Inhale here. Exhale, hold. Inhale, arms reach up. And as you exhale, cactus the arms once more. You're getting deeper into the shoulder space. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. And then exhale, open arm twist, this time to the left side. Palms face to the left, thumbs point up. Press the left hip forward as you pull the right hip back. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. And exhale, cactus the arms back. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, arms still extended, ground down through your feet. We're going to do some side bends here. With our arms reaching up, roll the shoulders down and away from your ears. Feet are planted, still hips width distance. Go ahead and wrap your right hand around the left wrist. As you inhale, reach, and then exhale, side bend over to your right side. Notice if you're holding any tension in your neck. We just did all of those neck exercises to get rid of that tension. So just go ahead and get loose there. You can maybe tuck your chin down. Press down through the left foot, breathing along the left side body. Inhale, both hands come up. Switching the grip, go ahead and grab your right wrist with your left hand. Inhale, reach through the right hand, and then exhale, side bend over to your left side. Inhale, comes up. As you exhale, cactus the arms back. George is being such a drama queen right now. Going through a couple rotations here, go ahead and bring the elbows in towards each other. Tuck the chin slightly as you start to feel that spread between your shoulder blades. Send your breath there. As you inhale, goalpost the arms, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then exhale, draw the elbows towards one another, spreading the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, goalpost. Exhale, squeeze. 2 more on your own. Inhale, goalpost arms, and then extend, reaching the arms up. As you exhale, let the hands come to your side for mountain pose. Close your eyes, tuck your chin slightly, and just take a moment to feel all those tingles along the shoulders, matching with your breath. Inhale, arms reach out and up. And as you exhale, fold forward, chest to leg. Hold here for a couple breaths. Whatever rotations you liked for the last round, go ahead and integrate it into this round as well. On your next inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, plant the palms, stepping your feet back, high plank. We'll do 3 transitions once again. Inhale, hold, high plank. Exhale, press the hips up and back, down dog. 2 more, inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Last deep breath together in down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, lower down to your knees. Swinging your legs out to either side. Roll onto the opposite hip. Extending the legs forward. Flexing your feet. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. And exhale, fold forward, chest to leg. Hands can wrap around the calves or the ankles. Maybe even wrapping over the tops of the feet. As you inhale, gently come on up, shoulders stack over hips. And then as you exhale, start to lay down on your back. Squeezing the right knee into the chest once more. As you exhale, knee comes to the right armpit. Getting into your hip space here. Bring the left hand to the outside of your right knee. Plant the right shoulder into the ground. The right arm can either be at a T or a cactus. Go ahead and center out the hips. And then as you exhale, bring the right knee to the outside of the left side of your mat. Supine twist. Inhale, knee comes on in, squeeze it into the armpit. And exhale, extend the right foot. Take a moment to feel the difference in the right or left side before we go to moving it to even it out. Inhale, squeeze the left knee into the left shoulder space. Exhale, draw it in tight. Bring the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Extending the left arm out to either a T or a cactus shape. As you exhale, left knee goes to the right side, outside of your mat. Inhale, knee comes on up. Exhale, squeeze it in tight. Inhale, draw the right knee in, giving both knees a squeeze here. On your next exhale, plant the bottoms of the feet into your mat. Feet are hip width distance. You can step the heels towards your hips so that your fingers can graze the back of the heels. On an inhale, come up to bridge pose, pressing the hips up. Exhale, release. We'll do two more rounds, holding on the last. Inhale, press down through the feet, lifting the hips up. Exhale, hips lower. Third round, we'll hold. Inhale, bridge pose. And then as you exhale, you can interlace the fingers at low back, tucking your shoulders underneath your torso. Press the hips up. Inhale here. And then exhale, release the hips down to the ground. Heel toe your feet out to mat width distance. Let the knees knock into one another for broken bridge. An additional add-on here is creating an L shape with your hands and thumb. And then placing the thumb on the hip crease, press down and away, feeling a release in that sciatic nerve. I love this internal rotation because it also targets that low back, so you can send your breath just above the tailbone. Release the hands as you inhale, knees come up to the sky. As you exhale, heel toe the feet in towards one another. Our last pose here, well, second to last, is going to be extending the legs up to the sky for legs up the wall. Just taking a moment here to reset our blood flow. One deep breath together. Inhale and exhale. As you inhale, flex the feet, pressing the heels away. And then exhale, squeeze the knees into the chest. Releasing into Shavasana. Let your legs extend. Heels can come to touch as your feet flop open. Feeling rooted into your space. Imagine yourself growing roots into every point of your body that's making contact with the mat. And just breathe. If you're able to stay in Shavasana for longer, I am all for it. If you are ready to be let out, go ahead and start by wiggling the fingers and the toes, Starting to awaken with these little mini movements. On an inhale, extend the arms up to the sky and overhead for a big good morning stretch. And then with your exhale, roll to either side, resting your head on your bicep and planting the palm of your free hand into the mat, taking one last connection to your space, not only physically, but just the time that you took for your day to reset. When you're ready, go ahead and press on up into seated position. Hands come to prayer at heart center as we show gratitude for every muscle, bone, and joint that takes us through our practice. Bringing our prayer to third eye center, thankful for all the lessons in life put before us, some easier than others, but all providing perspective. And bowing forward, thankful for this beautiful space where we can practice together while still far apart. All the places you have gone and all the places you will go once this all has passed. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed it.